What's up, everyone? I'm back with another episode of Fuck This Review, where today we're going to be discussing 21 Savage and Metro Boomin's new album, Savage Mode 2. Runnin. So let's get into it. First off, the cover is fucking amazing. Like the whole, man, just the whole retro nostalgic feel of the No Limit, Cash Money album covers from when I was a child always like is gonna strike a good chord with me. So them coming with that cover, it was pretty fucking dope. I appreciate them doing that. And just when you do stuff like that, you keep like classic shit in rotation, like so the next generation can see it and things of that nature. So I appreciate that. Number two, how the fuck did they get Morgan Freeman to narrate this album? Like, never in a million years would I think that a 21 Savage album would be narrated by Morgan Freeman. Like, how did the conversation go? Like, did Morgan Freeman? They had to talk. Morgan Freeman and 21 Savage had to talk. But like, I would love to be a fly on the wall in the conversation on how like you convince Morgan Freeman to be on this trap album, quote unquote. So like that. Those are the first two things off the bat that would just stood out to me and amazing. And the narration of Morgan Freeman on the album really, man, it just show. I'll get into it. I'll get into that aspect later. But for now, let's start this review. The first Savage Mode dropped in 2016. And, in between time, 21 Savage has dropped I'm Greater Than I Was he had the Grammy. He won the Grammy for A Lot, which is probably one of my favorite songs, and he had the Grammy in the new video for Runnin, so I thought that was dope, and it was like all passing through the hood and shit. I was like, it's fucking dope. But yeah, so the last Savage Mode dropped in 2016. Between time, 21 drops an album. Metro Boomin also drops a solo album, and also a joint album with Big Sean. But Savage Mode 1 was so great, the EP was so good that when we got wind that they were doing another one, we seen pictures of them in the studio and things of that nature. So we knew it was coming, but we didn't know when. So when they dropped the trailer with Morgan Freeman around the Halloween theme, I thought it was pretty dope. But let me be honest for a second. I didn't really become a 21 Savage fan until the last album, I'm Greater Than I Was. That album, at first, to be honest, I thought he was just like, a trap rapper. Like, I'll kill you, sell these drugs, things of that nature. But when I listened to that album, I heard stories, I heard depth, I heard it doesn't, to me, for real, like, it doesn't matter what your music is about, as long as I can, like, understand your story for one and believe your story for one. So you can, like, you can talk about whatever, you can get me as a fan just being authentic. And I think 21 Savage is very authentic when you hear when he was rapping on that last album. For me, even on this album as well, but that's what caught me to become a 21 Savage fan. And just listening to him, you can tell on this album he stepped his pen game up. Like some of the rhyming schemes on this album and how much he was in pocket, it was just pretty fucking dope. And I think Metro Boomin painted the perfect picture for 21 Savage. Like, he gave him the perfect beats for 21 Savage. Those sometimes slow samples like the A Lot hi-hats, like going crazy, high tempo, 808s, kicks. So he really stayed in that lane of pocket, and it's good to see like rappers and producers like going back into like, how in the 90s and shit of that nature, 80s as well, I would assume. But it was just one producer and the artist or the group, one producer in the group, and they rarely strayed away from that producer. And when you do stuff like that, sometimes, it can run its course. But most of the time, I think the artist and producer lock in and like craft a sound that they both understand. It's like cohesiveness is on top tier level because we're both in the same room. We get it. Like, you don't have to find this producer to match this sound and things of that nature. So I thought that idea, like with 21 Savage and Metro Boomin alone, is just dope. All right, so the album starts with the song. Well, it starts with the the intro with Morgan Freeman, but the first official song is "Runnin," which is fucking just, man, shit is so fucking dope, man. Like it's like the perfect song to start this album with. Like I wouldn't have it any other way. Like when it first dropped with the sample, man, I love that one. That's probably one of my favorite songs on the album. And can we talk about 21 Savage hooks? Like he's definitely stepped up his hook game on this album. I think all the hooks hit. Like it's not like a bad hook on the album, which is, you know, 15 songs, I believe. Like it's a tough task. But going to, what was it? Glock on My Lap, where it was like 100 producer tags in it. I fucking hate producer tags. It's like I get it. Like I'm gonna read the credits, so I'll know who produces what. But 3 producer tags on a song is just kind of too much for me. The song itself is pretty fucking dope. 21 flow, and it was pretty perfect for the beat. I like that one. It's probably another favorite of mine on the album. So the album starts off pretty fucking good with the skits, and then both of these songs really complement each other back to back. So we go into the Drake song, which is cool. It sounds like a Drake song, so I understand. I understand why 21 Savage would put Drake on it. The hook sounds like Drake singing, and even after Drake verse, you can hear Drake singing on the hook. But it's cool. It's probably gonna be on the That's probably gonna be the single. But you know, it's a cool record. I don't know why Drake has to pillow talk all the time. Like he didn't have to mention this is a thing. That was a little bit weird. But going into the next song with Young Thug, which is probably my favorite song on the album. I think it's Rich Nigga Shit. Best song on the album for me. Like before I even get to that part of the review, but like soon as when I got to that song, I ran it back. Soon as Thug verse was over. Like Young Thug hasn't missed. I can't remember the last time Young Thug missed with a feature verse. That should be a single in my eyes. Like they gotta do a video for that. That song is really fucking dope. And then we go into Sliding, which goes right into like the perfect lane for like 21 Savage. That hard trap shit. It's just nasty. Like this whole album, it makes me want to either go shoot a bunch of niggas or go work out this aggression in the gym. So by this point, we're about like 6 songs in. I'm really into it. I can't believe I'm into it this much at this point. So next song was the Mini Man joint. And can I just say that like how the resurgence of like 50 Cent, like you see it in all the rappers that's like, I guess, quote unquote, on top right now, you see they come from the kids of 50 Cent. Like they grew up on 50 Cent, so it's only natural that you hear him like with the Pop Smokes song where he did Mini Man, and even the Woo where he do the Candy Shop shit, and the Migos song with Bitch Get In My Car, and then when 21 Savage does the Mini Man flip on this one, it's pretty fucking dope just to see that homage being paid. And I think 21 Savage paid a lot of homage to a bunch of OGs doing this album, from the cover to the 50 Cent sample to the Steppin' On 'Em sample. And there was a sample in the last song that I just can't, it's whack that I don't remember right now. But it was a sample in the last song as well. But that's the shit that I'm talking about. Like we can have like these young, because for a time, you know, they always try to put the old against young. But you could be 21 Savage and still show respect to 50 Cent and still bring Many Men into 2020 and it still works. You know what I mean? Like you could do that. You don't have to, because we grew up on that shit. So it's just good to see that and the homage being paid from the youth. So one of the funniest moments on the album is when the skit with Morgan Freeman describing the difference between a snitch and a rat. It's like I never thought I'd hear Morgan Freeman on a 21 Savage album, nor would I think that he would be on a skit talking about rats and snitches and telling me the difference between the two. So that was pretty dope. The song itself, it was okay. It was okay. Like I think the skit is better than the song, but you know. And it's like I've been hearing so many snitch records this year because of the Tekashi 6ix9ine, and even 21 Savage came out and said, you know, Tekashi's not the only snitch in the world, you know, which is true, but this is rap, and we all know why, you know, we know who you're talking about. And by this time, it's like, in the album, for me, truthfully, I can only bear, like, probably, like, 10 songs of just trap, like, the repetitiveness of trap, like, for an album. Like I can't just sit there and just keep listening to it. Like so by track 12, I'm already like, all right, let's wrap this up. like don't let this don't let the magic slip away from me. Like I'm in love with this album, but as long as it goes on, the more I'm like stop loving the album. Yeah, by the time I got to the snitching song, probably like the latter end, all the way to I don't know, man. Maybe to the Nas sample one, R.I.P. Love, I think. And he did the Nas sample from Take It in Blood. So like from It Was Written. So again, paying homage and paying it forward. So and can whoever these girls are stop breaking 21 Savage heart? He had a song on like his last album where he was like pouring his heart out. And this song he's pouring his heart out like, I'll never love again. You hurt me, bitch. Like it's like 21 Savage is so tough. You just don't expect this part. He like try to tuck it into the like latter end of the album, but I like that song. I love the Metro how he flipped the beat, the sample from the Nas thing. So that brought me back. But like stepping on him, like even though the Never Ending Bass sample, again, this album is full of paying homage. Like it's really fucking dope that because he don't have to do that. Like. And even doing the 80s flow on Stepping on Him is pretty fucking dope. Even though I don't really like the tail end of the album, it has its moments and highlights that, really stand out to me. 21's favorite word on this album had to be pussies. He said that on every single song there is on the album. I was like, is this a reoccurring theme? Is this like, I don't know. It was a funny Easter egg in like every song when you go back and listen to it. Overall, though, man, I think this album was a good comeback for 21 Savage and Metro. I think they delivered, whatever that expectation may be. The bad stuff of it that I don't like, I really can't hold against it because I know it's people who... It's only 15 songs. It's not a lot of songs. But for me, listening to a lot of trap songs back to back to back to back, it kind of wears me down. But to the person who loves 21 Savage and trap music and really hard, like, I'm pretty sure that doesn't matter to them. And it really doesn't matter to me. Like, that really doesn't... It doesn't chip away the score of the album for me. So I think it was a dope album. I think they delivered. The beats were dope. The rhymes were dope. Hooks dope. Stories are dope. So I can't really complain. So that's it. Running. All right. Favorite songs. I'm going to go with Runnin', Rich Nigga Shit, and my dog. Yeah, my dog. Least favorite song, it'll probably have to be Stepping on Him. It was cool, but I probably won't go back and listen to that song that much. Yeah, I probably won't go back and listen to that song at all. But I appreciate the homage being paid and, just the funness of, like, you got to be having fun to do a record like that now. So I appreciate that. All right. One of my favorite lyrics on the album, he says... Niggas talking that UK shit like I don't got AKs because I was born overseas don't mean I won't spray. So it was just cool that, you finally hear 21 Savage talk about the UK situation. But it's also dangerous how he, like, I still kill you though, even though I was born overseas. So I thought that line was dope. And there was another line from Runnin'. I'm going to read this line. It's from Runnin', but it's one of my favorite lines. It's just a dope. I just love rap. He was like, smoking that Zaza. This shit came from the garden with Adam and Eve. Chopper go fa-fa. Shoot you go pa-pa. My niggas gonna make you bleed. So I just thought that was a dope-ass line. Like, you could tell that he's like... Because a lot of time with trap rappers, they'll stay in their lane and they'll keep making that same song for the rest of their life. And you won't even see them step outside their comfort zone. But when you see an artist like just trying and like you could tell some thought putting into it, like it's a rhyme pattern, it's exciting, it's funny, it's a bar, it's like it has all that, it has punch. Like it's like, so I love when rappers do that, like especially unexpectedly, and I don't expect it. Well, my advice is not to have a drinking game to how many times 21 Savage says pussy on this album. But, as always, fuck this review. I'm Tatum. Peace.